What's up, everyone? I am Master Zerg from YGG Gaming, and in the top left-hand corner of the balance test map, about 2 days before the new patch comes out, we have myself, Master Zerg, and we have Charizard. And so, as a lot of you know, there's the new 3.8 patch update where they're changing a lot of units, especially Mech, for Terran, for Zerg. They're trying to add more balance to the types of unit counters and openers and all that. So, I've cracked the case, and we're saying that lightly because obviously I haven't cracked it for every single thing, but this is kind of the basic guideline for you guys to follow, for all you Zergies out there, for all you Mechies out there that want to see what Zerg's going to do. You Zerg can see kind of what Mech's going to do, kind of, not really exactly. But, so, some of the changes, obviously you have the Cyclone changes, Siege Tank changes, Thor changes, Liberator, pretty much the biggest stuff, the Banshee, and even the Viking, pretty much every single mech unit. And so, I mean, we're just gonna see what goes on. Mech is gonna be more of a double gas early on opener. There's either that or Cyclone Hellion, where you kind of take the reactor and switch it with your factory, and that's the kind of build that this guy's going for. As you can see, he goes for the Reaper. He's gonna get the Hellions, and he's gonna get the reactor. Obviously, he's not gonna make Marines with this because he got such an early factory, and you just go for the early stuff. And then, so let me just run you through kind of what my thought process was. Okay, Mech, Queens are really good against, they have a lot of health, they can really tank a lot of damage. So what you kind of want to do is you want to go for a good, obviously my example of this is not the best, but you want to go for like 10, 13 Queens, stuff like that. It's easier when you have two bases, but that's kind of just the idea. You want to get Queens out. You want to get these Queens. You want to spread your creep. You want to keep yourself in vision of everything so you can see anything. So this Reaper's coming in finally. I don't know why there's an SCV down here. Anyway, this Reaper's going to come in, and it's kind of just a scouting Reaper. He knows he's not going to get any damage done. He sees the Baneling Nest, so he kind of knows what I'm going for. I already slightly know what he's going for, but he could have done something completely different. So, as you can see here, slow it down a little bit. Pneumatized Carapace, I start getting that, and what that does, it gives Overlords speed. This was a very underused upgrade previously because nobody really used it, but now it's getting a lot more popular because it's actually pretty important in scouting against other players, because your layer might not come out early, and even Overseers getting an increased speed. So we can see Blue's a little supply block there, and he's not making a supply depot. Technically this could count, but still. So just trying to spread the creep. I should have really destroyed these rocks. I don't know what I was doing, but so meanwhile, 2 Evo chambers, third base is down, and you want to really just focus on saturation. The whole point of Queens is that you get the Queens while they're being made. You make drones, and then every now and then you throw a good amount of lings in there. That's the whole point of scouting, though, because you don't want to. You really don't want to go. Wait, why did I say? Okay, that's the point of scouting, because if you see that they're not going to be very aggressive, you don't need the lings. But as you can see, I can see his army moving out, so I'm going to make a few more lings, get some banelings, and keep these. I mean, 4 Queens will easily hold this off. The thing that I want to point out is this guy is kind of going in with these guys way too early, first of all. Second of all, okay, so as we see, he only has a tiny little army. This is not going to do much. Yes, he can pick off some Overlords and stuff, but the thing is, I mean, picking off Overlords, that's pretty good, but you're kind of just like, you're spending a little bit too much time on that as opposed to sending a Viking around the map. I mean, this amount of army, yeah, you can try to go in and do a harassment or something, but it's not as valuable as a Viking, and that'll also give you the air control early on to keep them from going muta, especially against this, because nowadays, I mean, Cyclones are not going to be good against mutas at all. You can easily pick him off. And yes, it's like, well, where are you going to go Ling Bane when he's got Hellions? That's because I have the Queens. The Queens are kind of just going to force them away. Banelings do a lot of damage against Hellions if you can get a good hit. But yeah, Queens, you definitely want them. I kind of just stopped making them. I should not have, but I did make my Hydras and my Banelings. You want to get these upgrades. It kind of depends on the situation, so let me just stop right here. So this Grooved Spines gives the Hydralisk 2 extra range. Muscular Augments makes them move faster. So it kind of depends on what the other person is doing. If they're going for Liberator or let's say Protoss, like Protoss isn't going to have an early like air army. You might get this against Phoenixes, the speed, because you want to be able to catch up to the Phoenixes. This might be used against Terran a little bit more. So it doesn't, just because it comes in first doesn't mean that you want to get it first. It's just alphabetical order, as you can see there. But meanwhile, there's the layer. These Lings are going down here. They did a lot of damage. That is really huge. They kind of just completely wrecked the mineral line over here. This Widow Mine is going to fall and not do anything. So if you look here, workers killed. They didn't kill many, but they still disrupt the mining time quite a bit. And what this will do is, first of all, it brings his army back. Second of all, these Queens are going out of that barracks. Most players will take the base here. Sometimes I usually just end up taking it here, especially since I didn't take down these rocks, which I'm really mad about. Especially against Terran, you really want to do that. So I spread my creep down here. I have it spreading down here. It's pretty slow. I should be about halfway by now. Maybe this is about up to here, but still I should have it a lot further. That's something I'm working on. But you really want to keep making Queens. Queens have a never-ending value. You can never have too many Queens. Obviously, you can have too many Queens if they're not doing you any good against something. But you'll see why they have a really good value in a few moments here. And so he's kind of sticky with the Cyclone Hellion into tanks, and then he's gonna like tech up after this. And that's it's not a bad idea. The only thing is with the +2 range, as well as just the +2 range, and +1/+1. As you can see, I'm getting the and he's got 0/0, and as you can see, I'm also getting. So you can just see the setup. Technically, you can just go around here and then kill the tanks, but that leaves these guys open. So as you can see, technically, I could get. I'm at the spot where I can get investors or what are they called? Swarm hosts. There we go. So 28 Lings are being made. So you can see what I'm doing with my Queens, throwing them into the fire of the tanks so that they're the fire of those. They're drawing the fire. Then I go in here while they shoot at the tanks, and I just start pounding the tanks with the Hydras because they have +1/+1. Then I send my Lings down to clean up any tanks, and that's really how you want to do it, especially when they have 0/0, and that just completely pushes them back. Meanwhile, I've got creep here, so he can't go past here without me knowing, and then I've got my creep over here, so he can't come down here without me knowing. And this is kind of why creep spread is so important, because you can see when somebody's moving out. Yes, Overlord placement is really helpful as well. You can just see how it's super important. He's got a tank in his mineral line. That's not really the best place, because it's not really going to do much once the life 7 Lings in. But as you can see here, you got 2 Thors, and this is where you really need to have a lot of production, because yes, four factories is not enough. On 3 bases, you need at least 6, I'd say. I'm not a mech judge. I'm not a mech player, but I would say that you definitely probably want more than 4 factories. 2 starports, that's fine. He was going for Banshees and possibly Liberators, or double Viking actually, because Liberators are really not going to do much against this Hydra force. Meanwhile, send the Lings in here to try to distract the army as long as I can, and which definitely helped. And I just straight target down the command center. He can't really repair it. He was repairing his tank too, which is not good. Kill the base, and I get out. And that was a really good trade, because yes, I lose almost all my army, but seeing his army, seeing he doesn't have any upgrades yet, just now getting +1 ship or vehicle weapons, I can see, well, he doesn't have a third. And meanwhile, my creep's here. I can see if he's going to push out here. The only place I can't see is here, and that's kind of, I should have gone up this ramp. But meanwhile, I've got a lot of swarm hosts. And the thing about, the thing about this map, it's not really, this map, you don't really want to focus on this map, because this map's going to be gone. I did a little map update thing where I talked about the new maps. This map, don't really worry about it. This is really susceptible to these locusts, because these locusts can float right on over, and you can see it right here. He's without a third, and then he has no defense over here except for an anti-air turret. These swarm hosts are going to shred through them. By the way, you can hit Z and then tell them to go down before they even do anything. But I mean, you can just see how powerful swarm locusts are. I mean, this is why swarm hosts are really good against mech, because you have this many units that you can throw against, and you can throw against endlessly against a mech army, and you can just wear down their mech army. Especially when you have, I mean, locusts aren't. These guys have the carapace. So another thing you can do, another strategy, you can see here lots of swarm hosts. Another strategy you can do, you can go lots of swarm. You can try to tech straight it into swarm hosts and just make a lot of bases and get only the carapace upgrade and just kind of defend, because you get a lot of queens and you get the carapace. And what that'll do is you can go to Spire and get Brood Lords, which is actually the next step after Locusts, Swarm Hosts. But the thing is, I knew that I had destroyed him, so I pretty much only had to defend against an all-in. And so another way you can do it is, even from the early game, you can just go and get lots of bases, have 5 bases by like the 8-minute mark, and then tech up into your, and basically just defend with Swarm Hosts and Queens. And then, let's not do that. And then from there, you can just simply go straight into what you want, whether it's Spire and Broodlord or Ultra for some reason. But so meanwhile, you can see here, I just let go my Locusts. I accidentally A-moved, and these guys went right in, so that was my bad. But the point was that, I mean, they kind of were a meat shield too, because he was hitting unnecessary stuff. But yeah, Liberators, they're not going to do much, especially against Locusts, because they're going to try to hit the Locusts, and one Locust is not going to be that big of a deal. I mean, they got 50 health. They do, their damage is increased with the attack boost, but you can still, it's not necessarily about the damage, it's just about holding off. So, see, teching up into Hive, the 5th base was almost done, and that's kind of how you want to do it. So, when I say I've cracked the case, I don't mean literally. Obviously, there are things that need to be changed, things that can be changed, but it's just the concept. So, thank you guys for watching. You guys can use this concept, you can use other concepts, all kinds of stuff out there for you guys to use, and I'll see you guys next time.